There's three things in this world that are going to control you from today moving forward. All right? You have your body, your flesh, you have your emotions, and then you have your mind, your thought process. One of those three things is always going to be in the driver's seat at any given point in time. Here's an example. Somebody walks up and slaps you as hard as they can. What's the first thing that happens?
Shock.
Pain. And from that pain comes anger. And what happens to our thought process? It goes to the back and is no longer in control of what we're doing. That's why you see anytime there's a fight or somebody getting upset or somebody getting elevated, there's a third person that comes over that grabs you, right? Calm down, man. Calm down. It's going to be okay. They didn't mean it. We'll talk about it later. They're the reason that you are now coming down, because when your thought process is gone, we as a human species care for one another, and somebody always steps in to take you, to save you from that situation so you don't act on those emotions. They're going to continuously tell you things until you calm down and your emotions and your body are put in check and you start thinking clearly about the big picture of what's right and wrong. Handful of my boys, who have I ever coached in baseball or soccer or football or anything else? I got a few of y'all in here. Let me give you another example. In baseball, softball players? Got a bunch of softball players in here? Okay. Huh? All right, good to go. In baseball or softball, when all the parents are yelling and that ball is hit and all the adrenaline dump takes place and there's a bad throw to first base and it gets overthrown and hits the fence, you hear all the coaches yelling, hold it, hold it, hold it, or pitcher, 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 and what does 99% of y'all do? Throw it to second base to try to get the runner out, and now we have a second bad throw, and then a third bad throw. Because in that moment, your body and your emotions, the adrenaline dump and your emotions have taken over, and your thought process takes a back seat. So what do we tell everybody? Boys, what do I say? Please help me out here and get it right. What do I say?
Stop the bleeding.
Stop the bleeding. We yell it out on the field. Get the ball to the pitcher. Stop the bleeding. Stop the bleeding. That isn't just to stop the play. It's to reset the minds of every player on the field so they have an opportunity to take a step back, get their emotions in check, think about the big picture, and reset. It's a process. There's three things. We have to choose which one is going to be in control at all times. What I'm seeing, I'm concerned about some of y'all not understanding the big picture of what's really going on in this room. This weight room isn't just a weight room. We don't just come into this room and do the reps that our coaches tell us to do, and we mentally check that off and we move on to the next process. Because I did it, I'm ready to go home. This gym is an opportunity for you to not only become physically fit, but working on becoming mentally fit for what you have coming ahead of you next year in high school or the years after that for college or wherever it is that you're going. People in society, generally, people in society that act based off of emotions, we call them what? Immature. Those are immature human beings. That's how we define them. Somebody that is continuously acting irrational based off of emotions. That's called immature. We as a human race can recognize that and realize that that is not somebody that we're comfortable being around, because us as a human species, we rely on leadership. We rely on companionship. We rely on having people around us that we trust and we are comfortable with. And who are the people in society that we are comfortable with? Who are the people around us in our families that we're comfortable with? Those are the people that we rely on because they are mature, which is always making the correct decisions aside from what your emotions tell you to do. They understand the big picture of what they're doing and understand the consequences of what they are doing, and they're always staying in control, so they're the game because they have a bigger picture in mind. But it took a long time for them to understand that they have to be mentally disciplined to stay in control of their thoughts, stay in control of their emotions, stay in control of their body, so they're always making the correct decision for the bigger picture, which is their goal. And that's why I'm talking to you today, because I want y'all as young adults to grasp this concept years before I did, or years before anybody else did, so you have a significantly higher chance of success moving forward from today. This room is not just a place that you are coming to exercise your physical body. This room provides you an opportunity to work on your mental discipline, your mental strength. We talked about body, we talked about emotions, we talked about your mind having control, because your mind always sees the big picture of where you want to go. When you come in this room, if you're tired, I don't care. If you're angry at your teacher from the last period, I don't care. And I can guarantee you who doesn't care about your emotions and doesn't care about your exhaustions, your physical inabilities, is the rest of society. When you get out of high school and you move out into the world on your own and you move out of your parents' house, the world is waiting on you and it will eat you alive if you are weak. We have to start that practice of mental discipline, of doing what we know what is right and doing it correctly, and doing it without coaches standing over us, making sure that we're doing it. We are practicing in this weight room mental toughness and mental discipline, self-discipline, self-accountability. This weight room isn't just about you coming in and going through the motions of lifting weights. You're building something else besides muscle in this room. And that is mental toughness and grit. We have to realize the road that's ahead of us. Because just like y'all coming out of the elementary school into a bigger environment of the middle school, there's a big high school waiting on you. And it's significantly more complex, and it's going to require a lot more self-discipline and self-accountability, and it's going to require a heck of a lot more of mental toughness, that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing all the time, because you understand the big picture. This is something that is happening whether you want it to or not. Times are changing, and you have to start working on yourself in this room when they provide you the opportunity to get better, not just physically, but mentally. I can guarantee you, instead of sleeping, I stayed up, I don't know how many nights, worried about how I'm going to present myself to y'all. In front of 150 plus judgmental faces, how am I going to present myself? How are you going to think of me? What do I need to say? What if I stutter? What if I do this? What if I do that? I knew that I had to do something for the bigger picture of the greater good, and I put emotions, to include fear and judgment, aside, because I'm doing what I know I need to do. For those of you that don't know, I'm a recovering alcoholic. Documented. That was my past life. I was addicted. I had these things that were in my life that I didn't want, and I was letting body and emotions drive my life. And it was going downhill fast. And I didn't have the mental strength to fight that war. So finally one day, after getting fed up with it all, after so many years, I faced my fears. And I went and jumped out of a plane and skydived. I have a fear of heights. So in order to fix that situation, I had to overcome my mental block of fear of heights and go prove to myself that if I can jump out of a plane, I can stop drinking. I can face my addictions. I can face my fears of speaking in front of people without judgment. It took me years, and it took that situation that I don't want any of y'all to go through, because y'all have the opportunity to start today on building that so you don't have to go through what I went through and what so many other people have been through. Am I going to do what I need to do when the coach isn't watching me? Am I going to do the reps even though I'm tired? Even though my body is tired, even though I'm upset with so-and-so, am I going to come in here, take control of myself? I own myself. Take control of myself and do the reps and do what needs to be done, because that is the right thing to do to work towards the big picture. And I can guarantee you right now, and every single one of these adults in the room are going to testify to it, At a lot of times between now and your goal, you are going to be tested. You are going to be tested on whether or not you're going to wake up on time and go get a project done that you have to get done, whether you have to stay up late at night and get paperwork done because it's due tomorrow. Are you going to choose sleep, or are you going to sacrifice your body and your emotions to do what you need to get done to work towards that goal so you succeed? Only three things are going to control you. I can guarantee you what two are not going to help you reach your goal. Your body and your emotions. They will always choose the easiest route. Your body and your emotions will always choose the easiest route. Your body wants to stay in bed because it's tired. Your emotions always feel disrespected or anxious or sad or mad. Your emotions are all over the place. But one thing that we have to keep clear is our thought process and our vision of our big picture on where we want to be. A honor roll? Who isn't a honor roll that wants to be a honor roll? That should be a lot. Who isn't a honor roll that wants to be a honor roll? How many nights have you chosen to go to bed early instead of picking up that book and studying so the next day when you go into class you're making better grades to work towards that A honor roll? This is what I'm talking about. We have to be working on ourselves at all times towards the bigger picture. Body, emotions, or a clear mind that sees your big picture goal of where you want to be. Every single day, starting in this weight room, you have to grow up and realize those three things have control. You have an option of taking two of them out of the picture and keeping a clear, goal-minded thought process in control at all times. Do what you know is right. Become better. And as for me, thank y'all very much for taking the time. I appreciate you.